With her rejection on Monday, Collins became the third Republican lawmaker to break party rank on the bill to reform the health care law enacted under former President Barack Obama. Previously, John McCain and Rand Paul voiced their opposition to the bill, neutralizing the Republicans' two-seat majority in the 100-seat Senate. Experts estimate that the bill would cut around $1 trillion €850 billion in funding for Medicaid by 2026, crippling the U.S. government mechanism aimed to help the poorest patients. Tens of millions would lose insurance. This would have a devastating impact, Collins said. To take a program that has been law for more than 50 years and make those kinds of fundamental structural changes, and to do so without having in-depth hearings to evaluate the impact on our most vulnerable citizens was unacceptable to me. Read more. Trump to let Obamacare fail. Shift focus to fiscal reform. Protesters gathered in the Capitol Hill hallway, while during a Senate committee hearing on health care. Collins also said that the bill, proposed by Republican Senators Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy, was deeply flawed and would weaken protection for people with pre-existing health conditions. Such protections are a key feature of the 2010 health care bill known as Obamacare. Trump, Pence lobby. Collins. Republican lawmakers have repeatedly pledged to repeal the Democrat-backed system. U.S. President Donald Trump also promised to repeal and replace Obamacare before taking office. After the election, however, neither Trump nor the Republican leaders were able to secure support for their proposed replacement healthcare proposals, with the saga culminating with a public defeat in July. Read more. How did the Republican attempt to repeal Obamacare fail? The Republican Party faces a September 30 deadline to organize a vote. After that date, the party can no longer pass the legislation with a simple majority, meaning that a Democratic filibuster would force the Republican lawmakers to gather at least 60 votes. Some of the protesters were carried out by the police. Collins said she faced fierce lobbying to support the bill, including Graham and Cassidy offering a boost of over 40% in federal health funds to her state, Maine. The president called me today. The vice president called me in Maine over the weekend. Health Secretary Price has called me. It would probably be a shorter list of who hasn't called me about this bill, she said. Protesters in wheelchairs. Graham pledged to continue his push to pass the bill. This is not the last chance. This is the best chance to preserve health care for millions, the conservative senator said. The U.S. Senate Finance Committee held a public hearing on the measure on Monday, but the session was delayed by protesters rallying against the proposed cuts to Medicaid, many of whom were disabled and in wheelchairs. The protesters chanted "No cuts to Medicaid, save our liberty and kill the bill, don't kill us." The police forcibly removed the protesters and detained more than 180 people. Private email used by White House officials. The pending death of the Republicans' latest Obamacare repeal effort coincided with the news that key Trump administration figures allegedly used private emails for official correspondence. Kushner and Bannon are both allegedly used private emails to conduct official business, according to a New York Times report released late Monday. At least 6 White House advisors close to President Trump used their personal email accounts to discuss official business. Those named included administration officials no longer on the White House team, such as former chief strategist Steve Bannon and former chief of staff Reince Priebus. The news came one day after the lawyer for Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and one of the president's most trusted advisors, confirmed that his client had used his personal email account multiple times to write to his White House colleagues, primarily to forward articles or political commentary. The revelations could open Trump up to accusations of political hypocrisy. During his 2016 campaign, Trump used Democratic rival Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server when she was Obama's Secretary of State to paint her as untrustworthy and criminal. Government officials are supposed to use their official email accounts for all work-related matters in order to secure transparency. AFP, Reuters, AP.